What is good, YouTube? What is good? Welcome into another show once again. I'm your host, Tavares Wilson, Last Word Productions. And as you all know by now, I always get the last word. So, we here for another night with my main man, Larry. Man, Larry, say what's up to the people, man.
What it do, what it do, what it do.
Yes, sir. So, we here another night, another week, another Dolphins loss. And this one,
Uh,
this one was a real bittersweet one, man, for multiple reasons that I don't want to get into or indulge anymore because I was already livid. But let's not waste anyone's time before we get into everything, before we talk about the game and our thoughts on the season or what that entails now. Be sure to follow the show if you're not already. We're on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, whatever case may be, Last Word Productions. Make sure you can follow me as well, Tavares_Wilson. You can follow my main man here too, Lacheto Verde, TikTok, things of that nature. So, with all that being said, man, Larry, before I get into what I want to say, man, what are your thoughts on the game? What did you take away from the game, and where do you think this leaves us now? Like, is the season officially over?
um, I don't want to completely rule out the season being over, but it's a high possibility that it's over. And the reason I say that is because through all the hoop and hoorah that this offense has given us, it's been very disappointing and outright mundane, to say the least,
Mm-hmm.
from a talent standpoint, from a investment standpoint. It's been absolutely disappointing. And the reason why I think it is a high possibility that the season is over is because we not beating, we're not beating the teams that's not competitive in the league. And our next game is literally against a premier my bad, excuse me, my bad. We're
No,
going
you.
against a top AFC contender, a perennial AFC contender, a consistent AFC contender who just so happens to be a division rival in the Buffalo Bills next week, who seems to be clicking now. Like the offense finally seems to look like they're putting things together. The defense was already stout as it is. And with the stretch of games that's coming up now, and we still haven't even played the Jets twice, it's not looking too it's not looking too good, man. To to be honest with you. Um the defense showed that they can't stop anything almost, whether it's the run game or the pass. I know it was tight end day, so they were looking for Trey McBride. He was getting open a lot. Marvin Harrison Jr., oh my God. What, already a career day against us if he doesn't have a better game this year?
Now
So,
he had a better game against the Rams, but
okay.
that ain't saying much. The Rams secondary is putrid, so you
Exactly.
know.
So with the talent that we have over here in Miami, man, the goddamn missed snap that led to a safety. It's so many things, so many holes that shouldn't be holes, that shouldn't be happening. Things that should be almost routine now is what's breaking us, up as an offense and a defense and allowing teams to beat us on the last second field goal, man. We
Mhm.
punted that ball at the 10-yard line,
Yep.
meaning that Kyler Murray and the Arizona Cardinals had to go 90 yards in order to win the football game. And those
Mhm.
guys really went, what, 5, 6 plays down the field, burned the clock, made sure we didn't have a second to spare,
Mhm.
and now we are a 2-5 squad.
Right.
It's just like I said from the get-go, man, from the start, it's utterly disappointing, man. Disappointing. So that's my take on it. Do I want the season to be over? No. Do I want to have optimism and everything? Sure. Is it a high probability that the season is dead? Yes. We might as well cut our losses while we can. Seems like, so I'm gonna let you take over.
Okay, well, I'm glad you're a little bit more optimistic than me, brother. But the season is done. It's over. It was, in fact, I thought it was over after the Titans lost. And the reason is because if you can't go out there, you can't beat the teams you're supposed to beat, especially at home. You're not going anywhere. You're not going anywhere fast. The team is 1-3 at home, Larry. 1-3. If you can't win games at home against bad teams or average teams, you're not going nowhere, bro. The season's done. And that's on top of everything that's compiled on it already. You got an offense that's clearly taking a step back. You got a receivers that they are almost tied up for $60 million this year alone. They're not performing up to snuff. They played arguably the worst defense in the league yesterday. And Tyreek Hill nor Jalen Waddle could even give you 80 yards or even a touchdown. Listen, at the end of the day, man, it's inexcusable for what the hell they put out on that field this past Sunday in a loss. Because not only did the offense not do enough, in my personal opinion, because they left a lot on the field to be desired, whether it was the butt snaps, the fumbles from Tua, even though he didn't lose any, they're still dead plays. So you're still affecting the game in a negative way. Whether it was them giving up on a run when they shouldn't have a little too early once again, whether it was them stalling out on the drive that they had midfield with good field position, they couldn't get nothing out of it. It's not good enough, man. And this is against a defense that's one of the worst defenses, if not the worst, in the entire league. And don't even get me started on the defensive side. Like I told you in Rio this a couple weeks ago, man. The defense is not as good as I think it is. It's just not. We've played terrible quarterbacks. Jacoby Brissett, Will Levis, Mason Rudolph, Anthony Richardson. These dudes are the bottom barrel of the league when it comes to starting QBs. Of course, they looked good against them. Of course, they did. Anthony Richardson yesterday went 2 for 15 passing. Of course, they look good. Like, it doesn't make sense. Like, now they finally got a real dog in their face. They got a quarterback who can play. That I've been telling people this for the last 2 years. Kyler Murray just needs to get healthy. The dude can play. Now, look, he absolutely shredded us. I'm talking about every play, seemed like he made one or two guys miss every play. And it wasn't even him using his legs. He just extended plays and made plays in the pocket and made big boy throws the entire game. And he absolutely destroyed the defense. And then to make matters worse, what bothers me the most about the team, man, is the fact that the players who are supposed to be performing and supposed to be, giving us what we paid them to do, like you stated earlier, they're simply just not doing it. I mean, Jalen Ramsey was awful yesterday. I see some people trying to excuse him on some plays. The man was terrible. Even if you want to say the pass rush wasn't there, which it wasn't, right? He was consistently beat off the line and in routes routinely. That ain't got nothing to do with your pass rush. You just can't check this dude. And Marvin Harrison took his lunch. Trey McBride, anyone who lined up in front of him was a victim. Whether it was Jordan Poyer, Jordan Brooks, David Long, David Long was absolutely horrible yesterday. Whoever. It was bad, man. And again, this is a middle of the pack team. Imagine what's going to happen when you get to Buffalo next week. Imagine what's going to happen when you go to LA against Puka Nacua and Cooper Kupp. What you think Stafford going to do to this team, bro? Don't forget, Kyron Williams back there too. Probably the most underrated running back in the league. So, in my personal opinion, man, the season is over. And for me personally, if it was me, it's time to blow this. It's time to blow it up. It's time to blow it up. I told you this earlier in the year, brother. If it don't work this year, let it go. Everyone is available outside of maybe 5 to 7 players. Everyone else, in my opinion, you need to make available. Whether it's Tyreek, whether it's J Ram, even though you just signed both of them to some contracts extensions and gave them both more money, who cares? You let them go. Whether it's Raheem Mostert, Teron Armstead, Calais Campbell, who the hell ever, sell them. If someone is offering you anything better than a second, third, sell them. It don't matter who the player is. Give them up. You're not winning nothing, and you're not winning nothing fast with millions of dollars invested into this team. Blow it up, man. And let me say this. I hate that I was right about Odell Beckham, but oh my goodness, man, I didn't think it was this damn bad. This dude is horrible. Odell can't play no more, man. He should have retired last year. He should have retired 2 years ago, honestly. The man can't even play 20 snaps, bro. Can't even play 20 snaps. I have no idea why in the hell they went and got this dude, man. I know Tyreek Hill was advocating for it and stuff like that. I have no idea why they went and got this dude, bro. He is absolutely terrible. Absolutely fucking terrible. And it's time for them to blow it up. It's time to let it go. It's time to stop selling false hopes and dreams to the fans. It's time to blow it up, man. You got anything you want to say about anything I said?
Man, oh man. Odell Beckham? Trash. That's over with, bro. That one hand catch, the dancing and all that, that's over with, bro. He's really selling his name at this point. I haven't seen bro catch a pass. He's been targeted, what, 2, 3 times? Catch a single ball, bro. Missed the first 4 games of the season. And it was supposed to be, all right, this is finally the third receiver. The compliment to Tyreek and Waddle. They sold us a dream just for the man to come out and be basically an Instagram PR stunt, posing for pictures, smiles, and everything, just to get some likes. Because then once he come out to the football field, he runs 10 plays and he's done for the game. Julian Hill, get that man out the game, bro. Go. I don't care if it's an offensive lineman coming into motion. Get Buddy out the game. I do not see that blocking shit, bro. I don't see it. My man's don't got no type of hands, no spatial awareness, no way to. He's not benefiting the squad, but getting flags, bro.
Yeah.
Durham Smythe. Why?
The fumble at this goal line, man. That would have been brutal. But you go ahead, bro.
Yeah, man, exactly. And we got bailed out every time for them fumbles, bro.
Yeah, it could have been a lot worse, a whole lot worse. Cause they fumbled 4 times, bro.
Yeah, Tua fumbled
3 times.
Tua fumbled 3 snaps, yeah.
And then you had the Julian Hill fumble. Like it could have been so much more worse, man. But
it's ridiculous at this point, bro. It's really ridiculous. It's borderline sad how this team has gone from, wild card, supposed to be the division leader, division winner last year, but playoff team, 2-3 years, 3 years straight. I'm sorry, 3 years straight, playoff squad, first round exits. You're supposed to be moving up. You're supposed to be gradually getting better. You're supposed to be at your peak at this point. This is the fourth year of the Mike McDaniel era. 22-19 record. Come on, man. This is mediocrity. What are we supposed to expect? What are we supposed to support? We are really a laughing stock. The media should be destroying us right now. Dude, it's pitiful. It's pitiful, man. Stars get hurt all the time. People get hurt in the NFL all the time. You still have to find ways to win. The Steelers found ways to win with a fucking carousel at the quarterback position since Ben Roethlisberger retired. You just find ways to win, man. We just saw Jameis Winston, who was basically the second or third string quarterback, who knows, come in and light up a Ravens team on his first start with with his new team, bro, with the Browns. The Browns don't have no weapons. They just traded their best receiver. Cedric Tillman just had a 2 touchdown performance against a very, very good Baltimore Ravens defense. There needs to be a change, an alteration, an omission. There needs to be an act of God to show what can happen for this team to at least turn the season around or just get better moving forward in the future. Because this ain't it, bro. We tried to break the headlines this offseason with all these moves, all this money we throwing at people. We bringing the team back together. You could have took one of these guys' contract, whether it's Tyreek Hill, whether it's Jalen Ramsey, whether it's Tua Tagovailoa, whether it's Jalen Waddle, and you could have threw so much money into so much depth or holes, and you could have got draft. It's draft capital. And I don't feel like we drafted this well in this draft. It's so many things leading up to mediocrity. And what is it? Week 9 now? Is that be week 9?
Mm-hmm.
It's pitiful, man.
Yeah, it's not even to add on to what you're saying, man. It's not even just the what you could have signed for depth pieces. It's just the fact that you could have retained a lot of the talent you lost. Like,
yeah,
it could have been just that much simpler. Like, you could have kept AVG, who is balling right now at the Vikings, and you have nothing. You have nothing at the edge rusher position. Chart Robinson. I heard one of the Dolphin podcasts yesterday say Chart Robinson had a good game. No, the fuck he did not.
No, he did.
Use my language. I don't know what the hell they watched, but Chart Robinson looked horrible yesterday. He went unblocked multiple times, at least 3 times in that game, and he whiffed on Kyler Murray twice. One of the times he ended up getting put on the ground on his knees because Kyler juked him out his damn cleats. Like, no, he looked horrible. I don't know what the hell they seen, but no, he did not look like he was progressing in any way. He looked like a deer in headlights out there, bro. And I'm not saying that to say he's a bust or anything, because it's way too early for that. But what I am saying is, you're not gonna sit and tell me drafting Chart Robinson is now there's that much greater of a pick than it would have been drafting Graham Barton or Carson Powers Johnson. Like, bro, like, listen, I said this when we drafted him. I thought it was a good draft pick. I like it because of that. I know they drafted him to replace Bradley Chubb in the near future, et cetera, et cetera. I understand all that. But the problem is he's not getting better by the week. That's the problem. When you have rookies who play snaps, who play significant snaps at that, you want to see the progression. You're not seeing that. He's not getting better at any facet of the game. And I watched the film. I see it. He's not getting better. He's not. Like, he doesn't say he's not setting the edge well. He's not getting the pressures or the sacks. He's not beating anyone off the line in terms of the tackles. It's not good right now, bro. It's just not. And you throw in the other problems with this team, man. Jordan Poyer, I thought Jordan Poyer was an upgrade. I was severely wrong. Jordan Poyer is absolutely fucking terrible. He's horrible. He's terrible. They should have re-signed Deshaun Elliott or Brandon Jones at this point, who both are playing well for their respective clubs right now. I thought the Aaron Brewer signing was a bad sign. I thought they should have brought back Connor Williams. Aaron Brewer hasn't been bad. He's been pretty solid, not to take anything from him, but I still believe Connor Williams was the better player. I said they should have re-signed Robert Hunt because there was going to be a problem. The offensive line, even though it was not an issue this past game or the game before that, you can't really blame them for anything. It still is an issue because Liam Eichenberg and Robert Jones, will eventually have absolutely horrendous bad games yet again. And Robert Hunt is balling right now with the Panthers. He's playing extremely well. I said they would. I said they should have went out and got a legitimate number 3 receiver and not just sign a big name guy. If you're not gonna keep Cedric Wilson, who I said was better than Odell Beckham at this point in his career, and he is. They did everything. They got older and they got worse, bro. It's time, man. Let it go. Blow it up. It's time to let it go. It's time to let it go. I just don't see what else they can say or do. But you got anything else you want to add before we get into the game?
Now let's get into the game.
All right, man. So let me pull up the numbers, man. So numbers we got right here, man. So let's go over the team stats for both teams. Both teams had 22 first downs. The Cardinals were 7 for 13 on third down efficiency. Miami was 11 for 15. So they did pretty damn good moving the change. Rushing yards, Miami ran the ball well. Again, I have no idea why they got away from the rushing game, but they did. That seems to be a Mike McDaniel forte at this point. The Cardinals ran for 82 yards. Passing yards, Cardinals 307, Dolphins 227. Total yards, the Cardinals had almost 400 yards. Offense, both teams almost did. Cardinals had 389, Dolphins had 377. The Cardinals had 1 sack. That was a strip fumble. Dolphins had no sacks. Again, the Dolphins, no sacks. Interceptions, both teams had none. Punts, the Cardinals had 3, Dolphins had 2, and so on and so forth. But time of possession, the next key thing, almost dead even. The Cardinals had 29 minutes and 29 seconds. The Dolphins had 30 minutes and 31 seconds. So pretty fairly even for the most part. And yeah, man, I mean, this to me, man, this game just showed me this team is an utter failure. And I think someone needs to be fired. I think that's what it needs to happen. I think that's what it needs to come down to. Someone needs to lose their job in order for people to wake up. Whether it's you benching someone, whether it's a coach being fired, whether you fire the GM, someone needs to be fired, in my opinion. Demoted, fired, whatever the case may be. Someone needs to be reprimanded for the piss poor performances and just the overall feel and just result of this season thus far. Because, like I said, bro, the season is done. It's done. They're 2-5. They're in the AFC, the better conference. Yes, I know some of the other AFC teams aren't performing as well as we thought they would, like the Jets, like the Bengals. The problem is with those teams, if we went into these games Sunday against either of those teams, maybe they beat the Jets, maybe. But the Bengals, I'm not giving them a chance to hell to beat the Bengals. The Jets, listen, it's 50-50 with them at this point. So if we can't even beat the worst teams in the AFC, hell, we can't even beat a middle of the pack team in the NFC. How in the hell do they think we're going to beat anyone of note in the AFC or anyone who has a chance to actually win a playoff game? It just doesn't make sense to me right now, man. And to me, in my personal opinion, like I said, man, I think it's time to blow it up. I think it's time to let it go, man. I think this team has run its course. You got Tyreek Hill on Instagram trying to defend his name, saying people who call him trash and wash, he thanking them, turn the tape on, stuff like that. They worry about the wrong stuff. They worry about what people saying online versus what's the hell going on the field. It's time, man. It's time for a culture change. It's time. And I think it's been time for it. I said this last year. I wouldn't be upset, nor would I be shocked if Mike McDaniel got the boot. Because 2 straight seasons where you underperform late in the season and the postseason, your quarterback gets worse as the season goes on, yeah, that's a problem. Questions need to start being asked. But
From the off, let me just ask a question. from
Good.
our offseason additions or signings, or which one do you think has been the biggest disappointment so far?
From the offseason signings, like you mean the free agents only, or you mean
Every
like
like the free agents, trades, the re-signs, the extensions, everything of that nature.
I mean the
Who
biggest
has been the
disappointment
biggest disappointment?
the biggest disappointment for me thus far, man, I mean, it has to be it gotta be your two wide receivers, man. It gotta be Jalen Waddle and Tyreek Hill, man. They
Mhm.
just have listen, I can't give it to Tua because Tua's been hurt. That's not fair to him. But Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle's played every game this season, and
Mhm.
they have been putrid. They've been bad. Outside of week one against a bad Jacksonville team, they have not been good. Tyreek Hill, 70 yards against the Cardinals. I'm sorry, brother. No, that's not good enough. It's not good enough. You're way better than 70 yards against Sean Murphy Burton and a rookie corner. You way better than that. Jalen Waddle, 4 catches, 45 yards, and another bad drop. Yeah, it's not good enough, bro. It's not. You got to be better. Point blank, period. So, I mean, I look at it from that perspective, man. I mean, I think when you got $60 million damn near tied between your two starting receivers, I don't care who's throwing the ball. They need to be getting shit done. Point blank, period. It needs to be fixed. I don't get how in the hell we're making excuses for these guys. Saying, "Oh, Tua not playing, man. We gotta give him benefit of that." Man, listen, Justin Jefferson go out there getting 100 yards with whoever at quarterback. Whoever. I seen Jamar Chase finish the year strong with a backup quarterback all last season. We seen, excuse me, we seen my boy Romeo Dawes pick up steam with Malik Willis at quarterback. We seen Calvin Ridley literally have a huge game yesterday against a damn good Detroit Lions team
With Mason Rudolph.
with Mason fucking Rudolph. The excuses at some point have to stop. We got to stop giving people the excuse that something ain't working in their favor. This is the NFL, bro. Every team every week got something not working in their favor. Every team every week dealing with an injury. We got to stop making these excuses for these dudes. They're not performing up to par. That's just what it is. It's just what it is. Tyreek, you got to be better. Water, you got to be better. Everyone got to be better. Don't get me wrong, they do. But they have to be better specifically. It is too much money invested in that receiving room, bro. Too much money. Too much money.
Yep, definitely.
So,
Definitely, bro. I definitely agree that the receivers have been disappointing, especially with how much money is tied up into them. But to be a little bit more specific, I'm going Tyreek on the disappointment, bro. Like, it's from from how much confidence bro has to the talent that he is to people calling him the best receiver in the league or second best, at least top five. He was just voted the number one player in the NFL last year. Your quarterback goes down, bro. That doesn't mean you don't perform. We see Justin Jefferson work with Nick Mullins, Sam Darnold. We've seen him work with Kirk Cousins. We've seen him work with Josh Dobbs. We've seen him work with a plethora of quarterbacks and went out there and performed. Dak Prescott was hurt one year, and Cooper Rush was in.
yep.
CD didn't miss a step. Yeah, some games he didn't have that was 110 and 2 touchdowns, but he performed. Tyreek Hill against the 2 games ago
The coach.
didn't
No,
have a catch.
he didn't have a catch to the fourth quarter.
Didn't have a catch until the fourth quarter, bro. Had a wide open touchdown because we know Tyreek Hill. We know the speed that he has. He looks over to the left while the ball is coming over his right. That still to me, bro, is the most irritating, the most unbelievable, and the most oh my God, what the F are you doing moment I have seen from my team in the last couple of years, bro. Like that's a pivotal moment in a game where we lost by 6 points. So T, if that touchdown happens, we are at least up 1 point while Indy has to go and drive down the field, which they had a tough time doing that entire game.
Right, right.
The Titans game underperformed. Buffalo game, no perform. He wasn't even performing before Tua got hurt.
Yeah. He and the
It's
thing is, he always get boxed by Buffalo, man. Like I gotta listen. We gotta talk about this Mike
excuse
McDaniel
me.
shit, man, because he gets out coached way too often, man. I mean, just go back and look at some of these games, bro. Like outside of maybe one game against the Bills, bro, every game Tyreek and Water was getting boxed, bro. Like every game. Outside of maybe one game by each, they're always getting boxed by Buffalo. And it's not like, bro, it's not like they have a killer secondary. Bro, their secondary is DeMar Hamlin safety, Tyler Rapp, who they
Christian
calling?
Benford,
Christian
Christian
Benford, yeah.
Benford,
They got Rasheed Douglas.
Rasul Douglas.
Like, bro, these not household names, bro. Like, these dudes out here boxing your two best receivers two
who
times a
you
year.
just who you just invested a boatload of money into.
Like, bro, there should be no way not one of them ain't getting off on these dudes, bro. Yeah, I can live with one of them getting double covered and they not having a great game. But
They not
both
even
of
getting double covered. See, that's the thing. They're not getting double covered, bro.
but
Teams
that's
are
my point.
confidently coming out here lining up against your 1 and 2. It's really a 1A, 1B if we want to be real. With guys who on other teams are CB4s and CB5s. Confidently, you got Kenny Moore in your Tyreek face, clapping in his face, doing the seatbelt buckle. Get the fuck out of here, bro. Come on, man. Come on, dude. You got Jalen Thompson, Sean Murphy Button. You got these guys out here just locking you up in Arizona, bro. Are we for real? We giving you 100 mil, we giving you 70? Nah, man, y'all tripping, man.
Yeah, I agree. It's to say the least, man, it's pathetic. To say the least. It's pathetic. It's bad, it's horrible,
Mm-hmm.
it's disastrous. Whatever terminology you want to use to describe it, it's pathetic, bro. And honestly, man, I don't know how Chris Greer. We got to talk about upper management, man, because I don't know how Chris Greer survives this season. I don't care how the season ends, bro. I don't. They could end the season 9-8, 8-9. They salvage the season somehow. He needs to be fired. Point blank. Period. He needs to go. Chris Greer has been in this building for over 20 years. I know he hasn't been a GM for 20 years. I know that. But again, like I told you on the previous pod, my brother, he was the head of the draft operations, meaning he was a large reason to why we drafted some of the players we drafted over the last 20 years. So every draft, we can at the very least say he has some part of evaluating the guy of why that guy got selected. And we have not drafted well. We went through the draft. The last 7 years, right?
Mm-hmm.
Our drafts was pitiful.
Pitiful.
We went through them. We went through them. And then what make it worse, the draft picks you did hit on, you lose all of them. You lost Minka because you hired a head coach that wanted to beef with him for whatever fucking reason. You lost Christian Wilkins because you didn't want to pay him a year too early. You lost Robert Hunt because you didn't want to pay him a year too early.
Mm-hmm.
You lose Brandon Jones. You lose Brandon Jones. No, he wasn't a star or anything like that. And in fact, I thought he was a liability sometimes. But he's better than what you have right now. That's the point. Same thing with Deshaun Elliott. No, he wasn't a superstar, but he was a solid football player. Everyone can't be an all-pro, bro. Some players just solid. And Deshaun Elliott is a solid football player. You had him. He re-signed for pennies on the dollar with Pittsburgh. Why was he not brought back? It doesn't make sense.
Mm-hmm.
Then
I
get
definitely
into
agree, bro.
draft picks, man. Liam Eichenberg, trash. Trash. You get into Channing Tindall, trash. Cam Smith. Listen, I ain't gonna call him trash, but I ain't seen nothing in 2 years.
I still haven't seen Channing Tindall come out and do anything in the NFL game.
Who else we drafted? Devon
Austin Jackson.
Cool. Jalen Wright, cool. Austin Jackson. Got a contract extension. I guess he's okay now.
I don't know why.
I guess he's okay at right tackle. But still, it's a bust. It's a bust pick because you had to move him from positions to make him even playable. Noah Igbenogany.
I was just about to ask, where's that guy?
We ain't even got to talk about that. We know what the hell happened now. We ain't even got to talk about that. Hell, who's the other lineman we drafted? Solomon Kinley. Trash.
I forgot about bro. I ain't gonna lie.
We can't draft, bro. He can't draft. He can't sign the right dudes now. He can't retain talent. Why is this dude running the team? He needs to be fired. He needs to be fired. Point blank, period. He needs to be fired. There's no reason to why Chris Greer should keep his job, even right now. I know they're not going to fire him right now, but there's no reason why he should stay employed the end of the season. There's no reason why. It's absolutely no reason. It's pitiful. It's putrid.
Chris Greer definitely got to go, bro. This better be it. Oh man, he's been with the team since the 90s and the early 2000s. Man, bro, this shit over with, bro. Or however long he stayed here with the team, that's over and dead with, bro. You can't draft, you can't construct a team. You don't know what to put the money into. You don't know how to invest into the team. It's time to go, man. What talent have we retained in the past 5 years? And when I say talent, I'm talking about consistent talent. There has been none, bro. You can't include Tua. You can't even really say Waddle at this point.
Yeah, because Waddle, even though he had got better through his first 3 years or 2 years, I want to say, because his second season was when Tyreek came, right?
Yeah.
All right, so yeah, even though he got better his first 2 years, these last 2 years, man, he's definitely taking a step back, man. He's definitely taking a step back. Like I can't remember the last time I seen him score a touchdown. I think the last time he scored one was against the Jets when Tyreek was hurt.
Mm-hmm. Last year.
I can't even remember.
Against, I don't even remember who the quarterback was. Was it Mike White?
For us? Nah, Tua played.
No, I'm saying Mike White was the quarterback of the Jets. No, it wasn't Mike White.
I forgot. It was Zach Wilson.
But yeah, bro, it's if you don't blow up the head coach to some of the players, you got to at least get rid of Chris Greer, bro. You got to go and I don't know. I don't even know who you go and look at for a GM. Probably one of the young guns. Get
Yeah,
one of them GMs that's like 35 to 40 years old who actually look at talent in the college game. Because this guy here, man, I don't know, man. See, man, we went through our drafts, bro. We went through our drafts. The
yeah, we went
draft that
through
we, the draft that we got, Tua, Austin Jackson, and Noah Igbenogany, bro.
it.
Let's talk about Noah Pitt a little bit more. Let's go to Noah Pitt. Austin Jackson, all right, whatever. Okay, Tua. We're not going to talk about that. We talked about him and that draft pick enough with that guy that's over there in LA. Noah Igbenogany, bro. If you look at the players that were picked directly after him,
Mhm.
even guys that were picked in the second round, these are guys who are in the NFL and busting people. Like, bro, I was going to say a pause moment. They are killing it in the NFL right now, bro.
Mhm.
Killing it. There's players like we could have had Jonathan Taylor, Grant Delpit,
Xavier yeah.
Xavier McKinney opened up this year, setting a record. One of the first players that have 5 interceptions in the first 5 games of an NFL season.
Mhm. Yep.
What there
But
are top tier.
don't forget. Don't forget, boy. Don't forget. Before you continue, don't
Not yet.
forget.
What?
They traded back to get Noah because they know he'll still
Mm-hmm.
be there, and they could have drafted Justin Jefferson. Don't forget. Don't forget that because a lot of people
Yeah.
forget that. Don't forget that they could have took Justin Jefferson. But go ahead, bro. Go ahead.
Yeah, you're right. If they would have never traded back, Justin Jefferson was literally the 3 picks before. We could have stayed. You see a talent, a unicorn of a receiver, that a guy that runs routes, 6'2", not the fastest receiver out there, but he's good enough. He's fast enough. Gets separation, plays the ball at the highest level, always available for the squad. There's not enough compliments to go out there for Justin Jefferson, man. The Vikings stole him because he really should have been a Philadelphia Eagle.
Yeah.
But we ain't talking about those two teams.
Mhm.
But it's so much talent because you can even go back 10 years ago. It's so much talent that the NFL that the Miami Dolphins miss out on, man, and it's disgusting.
Yeah.
It's nauseating to see the talent that we choose to skip or miss off on, or we
Yeah.
trade our pick away.
Like drafting Charles Harris over TJ Watt. Yeah.
Like, bro, like we could have had Aaron Donald one year, bro. The year we drafted Ted again, we could have had Marshawn Lynch on a team that did not have a run game. It's those things like that that make me that it's infuriating to be a fan, bro. It really is. And it's come to a point where maybe we need to go and get the jobs, man. There needs to be a general manager position or something because we know the talent. We do the extensive research. We do damn near the same exact things as these guys, but they get to wear the suits and we just get to, sit by the wayside and just watch them fuck it all up.
Right. Right. Yeah.
There needs to
That's
be a
exactly
change, man. It needs to be a GM change.
that's exactly what happened, boy. You ain't wrong at all. That's I don't the thing that bothers me, man. And we've already piled on Chris Greer enough. I'm gonna get on Mike
Mm-hmm.
McDaniel a little bit because I think people are starting to realize what I said about him last year. But I think if this let me just say this, right? If this next game, if the Dolphins go out and they get absolutely mollywalked by the Bills, which they usually do. If they go out and get absolutely mollywalked by the Bills, I think that's a sign that this team is giving up on them. And the reason I say that is because if you turn the games on and you watch the games and you see these dudes on the sideline, no one seems to be upset. No one seems to be trying to fire nobody up. No one seems to be trying to get the troops rallied. It's just blank stares, laughing. Like it's like they're just there to enjoy the beach and the weather, bro. The tax-free state. No one is really playing, it seems like to me, at a competitor kind of level and aggression. And that's disappointing, man. It really is. Because what bothers me is that this team has the talent, bro. It has the talent. When you look at the team from the top to bottom, yes, it's some holes, yes. But man, you can't say and tell me there's 10 other rosters in the league that's better, bro. You can't tell me that. It's disappointing, man. It's disappointing. And that's a reflection of coaching. That's a reflection of coaching. If you can't get the best out of your players on a weekly basis from not from a production standpoint, but from a effort standpoint, that is a reflection on coaching, in my opinion. In my opinion, that's a reflection on coaching. Because we were, and even though I give Brian Flores a lot of shit, Brian Flores had a team that was utterly terrible in every facet of the game, competing on a weekly basis. After about 4-5 weeks, when they finally settled down and got it together, they were competing. They stayed in games. They made it competitive. They weren't being flagged every other play for illegal motion or whatever the case may be. They were competitive. You get all this talent, and now you right back where you started. It doesn't make sense, bro. Doesn't make sense, dog. So let me ask you this, Larry. Since we on this topic, man, we there's no need for us to discuss the game anymore. We know what happened. People who watch it, I'm pretty sure know what happened. Kyler Murray played a fantastic fucking game. Like I said earlier, Marvin Harrison Jr., great game. Trey McBride looked like the second coming to George Kittle. Great game. Listen, man, let me just ask you this, Larry. I want you to be honest, man. I want you to give me your honest opinion. What can they do to fix it? Like, I'm not talking about this year because again, I think this year is over. It's over. But next year, what do they need to do to fix it? Like we talked about what they should do, fire people and stuff like that. What should they do to fix it though? In terms of the team itself, the players in particular, what do they need to do to fix it?
You get me, right?
Yeah, I hear you now.
You saying like fix it just like in general,
like the players specifically, because we talked about the front office and stuff like that. What do you need to do to your roster to fix it next year?
if there's not an O-line adjustment from the get-go, then this team doesn't give a fuck about winning, bro. Excuse my French. This team doesn't give a rat's ass about anything doing with winning. Cause the fact that all right, let me be honest. First and foremost, I think it should be the O-line that gets addressed. It should be a new regime in the front office, and there needs to be a dynamic piece on our defensive side. There's no dynamic pieces over there, bro. At least for this year. Javon Holland been hurt. Ramsey has been playing very poorly, to say the least. To say the very least. There is no oomph in the linebacker game at all. David Long has been a very big disappointment. Channing Tindall, we touched on that subject. Where the hell is he? What are we doing with him? You know? What's my man name? Anthony Walker. hasn't been doing much. Jordan Brooks is here and there. He's played well sometimes. He's been kind of out of the loop others, but he's relatively been playing pretty good. But there's no dynamic piece on the defensive side, man. Like there's no guys that you just, oh, we got to double team him every play. Like TJ Watt in Pittsburgh, he alone can carry that defense. They added pieces around him. Even with Cameron Hayward, even with Aaron, with Alex Highsmith, even with Dante Jackson and Mika Fitzpatrick, they are additions to surround TJ Watt. TJ Watt alone can run a defense because you have to put two heads on him, three heads even, because you need your running back over there as well. We need a player like that on the Miami Dolphins. So I believe moving forward, there needs to be an adjustment to the offensive line and an adjustment to the front office and a dynamic piece on the defensive side.
Okay. I think I agree with everything you said, especially about the dynamic piece on the offense. I mean, not offensive, defensive side. They definitely, and to me, they need a dominant edge rusher. That's to me, that's what they need. They
Mm-hmm.
have no dominant edge rusher, bro. And it's saddening to say because you've invested so much in that position. Chop Robinson, first round pick. Jalen Phillips, first round pick. Bradley Chubb, $100 million contract. They have no dominant pass rusher, bro. They don't have a pass rusher who has had a 11, 12 plus sack season in a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Like they have to find that. They have to find that. And if they don't find it, they're gonna keep having the same struggles on the defensive side. Because this what this game is. It's sack theirs, protect yours. That's literally the name of the game at this point. And they can't do it. They can't do it. And another thing I want to add before I get into this, I gotta say this, and I gotta say it again, man. I said this before, but I'm gonna say this again. This team will never win with the way it's structured now with the coach and quarterback. Tua is hurt and inconsistent. He's too up and down against the better teams in big games. Mike McDaniel was out coached every single time. Every single time he's against a coach that's even somewhat competent of calling the game. They will never win anything with these two at the helm. It will never happen. And if anyone who's out there that still believes this, they're lying to themselves at this point. Because there is too much evidence and too much film that proves otherwise against multiple facets of the games and teams that we play, whether they're good, whether they're bad. There's too much evidence to support the latter. Too much. But before we head out, man, is there anything else you want to add, bro? Anything else you want to say?
I'm just disappointed, man. Honestly, to be honest with you, it's honestly just disappointing, bro. Disappointing. It feels like we're going to revert back to that time where we had Cleo Lemon starting that quarterback, Jay Fielder, um, um, John Beck, like those days. Like it feels like we're going backwards. Teams are elevating, teams are progressing. You got the Washington Commanders, bro, who I think is the biggest surprise of this year, if
Oh
I'm
yeah,
being honest.
for sure. Jaden
They're going, they are performing at a high.
man.
Jaden Daniels alone is going to get Kingsbury a head coaching job
Yeah, he gonna
again,
give him
bro.
another job. Yep.
He's about to get another job, bro.
He is.
Jaden Daniels alone is proven that the rookie quarterback can not only succeed in the NFL, be the best player on his offense, He's already the best player on his offense, barring Terry McLaurin. But
Nah, he more valuable than him.
It's like the way that team is structured. Everybody counted them out. Everybody counted them out. I counted them out. I guarantee you counted them out. Whoever's listening right now counted them boys out, except maybe the fans. And those guys are out there performing, leading their division.
Yeah. 6-2, man. 6-2 record.
Like, bro, the Vikings.
And they're not winning games just off the strength of like close games or they playing bad teams. Now they've been playing.
They are playing. They've been playing well, and they're playing great teams.
Their defense getting better. Their defense getting better by the week. Brian Robinson picking it up. And Jaden, I can't say enough about Jaden Daniels, man. I told people he was going to be damn good, but I didn't think he would be this good this quickly. But I did tell people he was better than Drake May. I don't know why people thought Drake May was the second best quarterback in this draft. Don't get me wrong.
I said he's better than Caleb Williams.
Oh yeah, I said that. I said that was an argument because I didn't think it was a real big difference between the two.
Yeah.
But like I said with Drake May, don't get me wrong. Drake May has played well when he's played, but Jaden Daniels is just different, bro. Jaden Daniels is different.
Definitely, bro. I agree. It's just go back to my point that teams who were counted out and looked at as are they going to be out of the picture? Like preseason, thinking are they going to be out of the picture? We're not worrying about those guys. The season's over. These guys are out here balling, bro. Balling. Washington balling, Minnesota balling, hell, Green Bay balling, Detroit. In the AFC it's more, top heavy, like the Chiefs, the Baltimore Ravens, teams of that nature, the Buffalo Bills. You expected that. But hell, bro, the Denver Broncos are finding ways to win ugly games. Yeah. That to me is you got room for improvement, but the fact that you're even still winning, oh man. Just imagine if they had a dynamic weapon at wide receiver. If Bo Nix figures it out, if the O-line blocks 2 seconds later. The defense already stout. They got a number one corner lockdown who a lot of people has already gave the crown as the best cornerback in the league to in PS2.
Yeah, PS2 got him, man. He can fucking play.
Bro, it's so many teams. I forgot to shout them out. The Houston Texans. Top heavy, a top dog in the NFL right now. Man, it's so many teams out there that are figuring it out and are progressing at such a rapid pace where we should be there too, because that's how we were for the past 3 years. And we're down here with the Indianapolis Colts of the world, the Jacksonville Jaguars, the New York Jets, the New England Patriots. That's not the talent that's on this team. That is not the caliber of team we have down there, bro. Those teams are supposed to struggle because they are struggling and bad. Maybe not the Jets from a talent perspective. But the Jaguars, the Colts, the Raiders?
Yeah.
Because I don't feel like the Raiders are that uber talented.
Yeah,
especially on offense.
They got some pieces, but they're not that talented.
Man, it's abysmal, bro. And it's frustrating, it's aggravating, it's irritating. Every adjective, vocabulary word, verb, noun, everything you want to use to describe them in a negative connotation.
Yeah, it's bad. You're right, brother. You're right. It's bad right now.
Something needs to change, man. Quickly. Rapidly.
I agree 1,000%, my boy. You didn't say not one thing wrong, man. But we reached that hour mark, man. Appreciate y'all for whoever tuned in to the show, man. Thank you for the little therapy session we had and listening. Be sure to like, subscribe to the YouTube channel, Last Word Productions. We on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, Twitter, wherever social media platform you have. Look up Last Word Productions 9 out of 10 times I'm there. And you got anything else you want to add later before we head out?
Miami Dolphins, #1. Tighten the fuck up, bro. God damn it.
All right, man. We out. Peace.
Yes, sir.